We sent our strongest to face the humans. None returned. The first warrior returned in pieces. Not dead, not entirely. Just enough remained to speak. The chamber of the Varkath High War Council fell silent as the shattered armor was carried in. The metal plates that once protected the Empire's greatest champion were twisted and burned, claw marks carved through alloy that had survived asteroid impacts. Inside the broken suit, Supreme Hunter Drax barely breathed. Humans. He rasped. Then he died. Across the circular chamber, towering alien warlords exchanged uneasy glances. For 3,000 cycles, the Varkath Empire had never lost a ground battle. Their warriors were bred for combat, towering beings of muscle, bone plates, and predatory instinct. Entire civilizations surrendered the moment Varkath troops landed. But now something impossible had happened. They had met humans. Warlord Carthuan rose slowly from his throne. "What did they send?" he asked. A tactical officer hesitated. "Just soldiers." Carthuan's eyes narrowed. "Define soldiers." The officer swallowed. "Humans." Murmurs rippled through the chamber. The Varkath had expected fragile diplomats, scientists, maybe engineers. The humans had entered the galaxy only decades ago, and spoke constantly of peace, cooperation, and exploration. They did not look like conquerors, but appearances had misled the Empire before. Carthuan turned to the holo display. "Show the battlefield." The projection activated. A barren red world appeared. Jagged mountains, thin atmosphere, endless dust storms. The Varkath had chosen it carefully, a harsh proving ground where their strongest could demonstrate dominance. They had sent 100 of their elite warriors, each one capable of slaughtering entire armies. The footage began. At first, the battlefield looked empty. Then shapes emerged through the dust. Human soldiers. They were smaller than Varkath warriors, barely reaching their chests. Their armor looked simple compared to Varkath war plates. 100 humans. Exactly equal numbers. A council member scoffed. "They matched us warrior for warrior." Arrogant. The battle began. The first clash lasted 3 seconds. A Varkath warrior charged, moving faster than most species could see. His plasma blade cut through stone as he lunged toward the nearest human. The human stepped aside, just one step. Then the warrior collapsed. The council leaned forward. The footage slowed. The human had moved with terrifying precision. A single strike to a joint seam in the Varkath armor, followed by a second impact to the throat beneath the helmet ridge. 2 movements. One dead champion. The next, Varkath attacked in fury. Then another. Then 10. What followed was not chaos. It was method. Humans moved like water through the battlefield. They worked in pairs, in trios, in shifting formations that changed every few seconds. Their weapons varied. Kinetic rifles, blades, compact rail pistols, even bare hands. Every motion served a purpose. When a Varkath swung, the human was already gone. When a Varkath defended, the human was striking somewhere unprotected. Within minutes, the ground was littered with fallen giants. The council watched in stunned silence. "How?" one whispered. A scholar answered quietly. "Adaptation." The footage shifted to thermal sensors. Human heart rates remained steady, their breathing controlled. They moved not with rage, but calculation. Another sequence played. A Varkath warrior tackled 2 humans, slamming them into rock with bone-shattering force. They rose, bruised, bleeding, still fighting. The humans attacked together. The giant fell seconds later. Warlord Carthuan's claws dug into his throne. "They should have broken," a strategist replied grimly. "Humans are famous for continuing after injury." The final moments of the battle played. Drax, the Empire's strongest warrior, stood alone against the last 3 humans. He roared and charged. His first strike shattered a boulder. The humans split apart. One distracted him. Another fired a rail, shot into his knee joint. The third launched upward, using a broken rock as leverage, and drove a blade between the plates at the base of his skull. Drax fell. Silence covered the battlefield. The three humans stood breathing heavily. Then one spoke. "Into a comm unit. Area secure." The recording ended. In the council chamber, no one moved. 100 Varketh elites had faced 100 humans. None had returned. Carthun's voice was low. "They are smaller, weaker, slower." A historian answered carefully. "Yes." "Then why did we lose?" The historian turned to the display again. "Because humans do not fight to prove strength." The image zoomed in on the battlefield, highlighting human positions, angles of attack, and coordinated movement. "They fight to win." Carthun stared at the projection. "Send another force." The chamber erupted in shocked protest, but the strategist raised a claw. "Warlord, we already did." He activated a second recording. A new battlefield appeared. A larger Varketh army. 500 warriors. Across from them stood fewer humans. Only 50. Carthun leaned forward. "What happened?" The strategist's voice dropped to a whisper. "They learned." The recording played. Human soldiers moved faster this time, more precise, more coordinated. The Varketh fell even quicker. Not a single human died. The recording ended. The chamber remained, frozen in dread. For the first time in its history, the Varketh Empire understood something terrifying. Every battle against humans made them stronger. Every encounter taught them more. Warlord Carthun slowly stood. "Recall all forces." The council stared at him. "We cannot defeat them?" Carthun looked toward the stars. "We can defeat many species." His voice carried a heavy truth. "But humans..." He remembered the battlefield. The precision. The calm. The relentless. Improvement. Humans are the only enemy who become more dangerous every time you fight them. Across the galaxy, one lesson spread among every civilization that studied war. If you sent your strongest to face humanity, you had better pray. They never came back, because if they did, the humans would have already learned how to kill the rest.